stranded in the Rockies.
I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I can get my family out.
A state of emergency as the waters rise. A warning for Calgarians.
If you step into the water, it's very easy to lose your footing and get carried away by the current.
Stay away from the Bow and Elbow rivers. And classroom complexity. More funding to help Alberta schools and teachers.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Road washouts and mudslides have stranded about 2,000 people in Kananaskis country. Those stuck with no way out are being told to shelter in place. Alicia Fielberg joins us from Kananaskis, and Alicia, the province has issued a state of local emergency.
Ian, all that water has caused some dangerous conditions. Parks Alberta says nobody has been hurt, but the rain and flooding has made some roads and bridges impassable. And that means there are 2,000 people stranded out along Highway 40 between washed out Evan Thomas Bridge and a mudslide at Little Highwood. Now, it's estimated about 250 backcountry campers are impacted. Emergency shelters have been set up at Peter Lougheed Visitor Centre and William Watson Lodge. Anyone needing a warm, dry place can head there. Right now, the province is focusing on re-establishing connectivity along that Highway 40 corridor. Crews have shut that road at Sibbald Creek, only allowing traffic to flow out, including about 500 guests at the Pomeroy Kananaskis Lodge in Kananaskis Village. Guests trying to make their reservations were not allowed to go in. The hotel instead is offering free cancellations. Hundreds are also stuck at Mount Kidd campgrounds, where one Calgary man's family is out there in their trailer. He was heading out this morning hoping to pick them up because of the flood concerns, but when he got there, the road was closed.
Got a text this morning from my wife saying that they're telling everybody to hook up trailers and get ready to move, but that is the hookup rig right there. So I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I can get my family out or get stuff to them.
Now, the province says that nobody has been airlifted out at this point. Instead, they're really trying to get those roads passable again. Crews are moving mud away where the mud slid down and trying to make sure that those bridges are stabilized. For the latest information, the province wants you to head to albertaparks.ca/KC updates. Ian?
Alicia, thanks very much. The worst of the rainfall has passed through Canmore, and that town is no longer under a flood watch. Officials have also just lifted all evacuation alerts that were in place overnight. Jordan Canagan is in Canmore with more. Jordan, how much rain did that area see?
Well, Ian, town officials say more than 130 millimeters of rain fell in the Cougar Creek watershed, and about 70 millimeters fell in the town of Canmore itself. And you can see some of the impacts of all of that rain behind me as some of the pathways near the Bow River have been flooded completely. Now, overnight, there were evacuation alerts issued for about 100 homes, meaning residents had to be prepared to leave if called upon. All of those alerts have now been lifted. Now, pathways all over the area were closed for much of yesterday and today due to the amount of precipitation and the erosion caused by all of that rain, especially along Cougar Creek. Some roads were closed due to debris and water, but those closures won't last long either.
I did not reach the same level of stress as I have in other rainfall events since 2013, as with the completion of the debris retention structure. I felt that the Cougar Creek neighborhoods were incredibly safer than they were.
Now, people are still urged to stay away from the river and other waterways throughout the town. As you can see, they're running very high and very quickly. And town officials say that while the update today is positive, things can change at any moment, and they will be providing updates on the town's website and social media. Ian?
Thank you, Jordan. For the first time, the Springbank Dry Reservoir is being used for flood mitigation to protect the city of Calgary. The reservoir west of Calgary was built in the aftermath of the 2013 floods that devastated the city. It cost about $850 million to build. It was just completed last year. Now, water from the Elbow River is being diverted into the reservoir to hold back water until high river levels subside. The city calls the Springbank Reservoir a game changer.
If this event had occurred and Springbank wasn't in place, we would have been able to use the Glenmore Reservoir by itself, but we would have had to fill it right to the top and run the risk that we could have had some overspill. So very much the criteria for operation of Springbank were surpassed by about 50 cubic meters per second, and that's why its use was invoked. Certainly made it much easier.
In Calgary, high stream flow advisories are in place for the Bow River and the Elbow below the Glenmore Dam. Tyler Barrow is along the Bow River in Montgomery. So Tyler, how did the heavy rain impact the city?
Ian, significant overland flooding is not expected in this city. Now, crews are out clearing stormwater drains while also taking precautionary measures, deploying pumps to remove any surface water which could accumulate. Now, this was the scene in Roxborough, where there were high water levels which could be seen along people's backyards. Meanwhile, west of the city near Clearwater Park, a path was flooded while the Elbow River could be seen flowing at a much faster pace. The intense rain forced the city to drain the Glenmore Reservoir to make space for incoming water flow. The city has issued a river safety advisory.
Somebody could be walking, if you step into the water, it's very easy to lose your footing and get carried away by the current. As well, if anyone was to try to use a watercraft of any kind, there's a high risk of getting pinned against different things in the water, such as bridge pillars or even trees. Again, those are all different hazards that we see, so that's why we want to advise everyone stay off the water.
Now, Ian, the city also wants people to ensure their downspouts are clear and weeping tile and sub-pump systems are working. It also asks that your eaves troughs are clear and anyone in a low-lying area to be prepared for potential basement flooding. Ian?
Great advice. Thanks very much, Tyler. Environment Canada also issuing an air quality warning this afternoon. It's in effect for Calgary and the mountains to the west. The wildfire smoke is from northern Saskatchewan and is expected to stick around for the next couple of days. Those susceptible to the smoke are advised to reduce their time inside. Gina joins us now. There is a lot going on. Flooding in the mountains, smoke in the city, and it's pretty serious, too.
Very dynamic situation we're dealing with on the weather front right now. All still connected to what we were experiencing on the weekend with that wet weather system. That's what's now funneling in all that smoke, as Ian mentioned, from northern Saskatchewan. And then down in the extreme south, more in the Lethbridge area, you're still dealing with rain there. But yeah, very hazy shot here. When I looked at Environment Canada's website just before 5 o'clock, saw air quality health index was at a 10 plus for Calgary right now. That's the highest level, most extreme levels. So definitely a health risk out there. I wouldn't spend extended periods outside with that AQHI at that level. We're also seeing rainfall warnings still and heat warnings again, because like I mentioned, there's so much going on right now. It's all interconnected, and we have those showers pushing through the Lethbridge area and parts of the foothills and extreme southeast. What's in store for the next 24 hours, you might be asking, when we take a look at your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen. Some instability still possible for the evening here. We clear up overnight to a low of 12, and then we get back to 22 for the afternoon tomorrow with that chance of smoke, obviously, Ian, and some thunderstorms as well.
Gina, thanks very much. A partial victory in court today for an Alberta Separatist group. The judge has given the go-ahead to begin counting and verifying signatures on a petition calling for a referendum on separation. Elections Alberta was given permission to begin the verification process after a decision by the Alberta Court of Appeals. The petition by Stay Free Alberta has been stalled since May after a judge found the province neglected its duty to consult First Nations. The Separatist group says it collected more than 300,000 signatures in support of a referendum. School boards across Alberta are getting additional funding for classroom complexity teams. The province is spending $100 million to hire more teachers and educational assistants to help students with complex needs and behavioral issues. It's already announced funding for complexity teams in kindergarten to grade 6. Most of today's funding announcement is targeted toward 221 complexity teams in grades 7 to 12. And each team will include a number of new staff members.
It will be comprised of one teacher, one EA, and up to 2 additional specialists as determined by the school division based on their student needs or student population.
The province says the funding will emphasize responding to behavioral challenges so students can learn in a safe environment. People with disabilities will soon have a new place to get creative. A ceremonial groundbreaking was held this morning for the Trico Community's Accessible Arts Centre. The group had been without a home for several years after the roof of the Fairview Arena collapsed in 2018. Now, the National Access Arts Centre is on track for a new facility in Northwest Calgary.
It's more than just the disability arts community. It's for the disability community at large. In Calgary, this is going to be their home. And, you know, we had the recent closure of Acova. That created a lot of challenges for the community. Finally, it's not about borrowing space from others. It's about calling this their own, and they get to call the shots.
The group has raised about 90% of the funding needed for the centre, and they're confident it will be fully funded soon. It's been a deadly couple of weeks for motorcycle riders in the city. Still to come, police respond after a series of serious crashes. And it's not just southern Alberta dealing with flooding. Several roads are washed out near Edmonton. Record-setting rain is taking its toll on central Alberta. North of Sherwood Park, a large chunk of road was swept away by a fast-moving creek. It's one of more than 24 that are closed in that area after this weekend's rain. Strathcona Emergency Services says there have been complete washouts on several roads in the community. Officials say repairs may take several months. In southern Alberta, it's a different story. Following years of drought, 5 days of significant rainfall this month is welcome relief. Dry conditions between 2017 and 2024 damaged southern Alberta's waterways and ecosystems, but groundwater is starting to be restored and streams that ran dry are flowing once again.
We're seeing dugouts filling up. We're seeing wetlands expanding that are typically, pretty dry. So overall, we're seeing a lot of improvements over 2024.
Meteorologists say Lethbridge will finish June having about 130 millimeters of rain. That's up from an average of about 100 millimeters. So lots of math, lots of numbers to crunch. And you're trying to tally up all the totals from the weekend.
I got my calculator out. I'm trying to figure it out. Actually, the folks at Environment and Climate Change Canada have released some preliminary rainfall totals from that big wet weather system we saw over the weekend there. And of course, once the rain moves out, the smoke moves in, as we just saw on our Skywatch weather camera there. But we have those totals. Again, these are preliminary numbers, and they're not capturing every single market in Alberta. These are just where we have those official Environment Canada weather stations. So one of the higher values that they're reporting so far is in that Waterton Gate Park area, right close to 80 millimeters over the last 3 days here. Canmore's at 67 millimeters. We just surpassed 50 millimeters. So it was a big system. It packed a lot of precipitation. And of course, it's been a rainy month overall. So a very saturated surface layer already. So we saw it all in the news already. All the impacts we're seeing from that rain event. Temperatures overall weren't drastically impacted. Calgary's at 21 right now. A little cooler in Lethbridge, Pincher Creek, that's dealing with some rainfall at this hour, so they're at 14. 21 up the QE2 there at Red Deer, 24 for Edmonton currently, and we're really not going to see any drastic movements when it comes to temperature over the next 5 days here. So tomorrow's looking seasonal at 22, 24 for Brooks, same in Medicine Hat, and 22 in Lethbridge. And really that southern part of the province, the extreme south, after today, isn't really going to be impacted a lot. And they're going to get more sunshine. So great for, again, the growers in that area that just got that abundance of rain. But we're still seeing a lot of rainfall watches and warnings. And we've got the heat to the north. We've got air quality impacted right now, too, here in Calgary, because there's the wildfire situation in northern Alberta. This low that gave us all the rain this weekend is now directing all that smoke from northern Saskatchewan into our area. The low starts to move more into the eastern prairies by midweek here. But Canada Day still looking a little iffy out there. We just see a lot. I've been mentioning it's a very dynamic setup we're dealing with. Lots of movement going on in the upper air pattern. So our next weather maker could be that complex of 3 low pressure systems rotating over Alaska there by the time the weekend comes around. And just with this wavy pattern in that upper air setup, that creates that late day instability. So we have that potential for late afternoon, evening thunderstorms really throughout the duration of the week here, up to 60% on Canada Day there with a high of 20. Basically copy and paste for Thursday and Friday as well.
Thanks, Gina. Police are urging Calgarians to take extra precautions on the road following 3 motorcycle crashes in just over a week, including 2 separate incidents where riders died. The first incident happened June 21st in the southwest. A man died after his motorcycle slammed into a home on Wentworth Square. Then on Saturday afternoon, a motorcycle collided with an SUV in the northeast community of Skyview Ranch. Police say he wasn't wearing a helmet or protective gear and was sent to hospital in life-threatening condition. Later that night, another major crash happened on Barlow Trail in the northeast. 2 motorcycles hit an SUV that was turning left. Both riders in that crash were taken to hospital in serious condition, with police later confirming one of them has since died.
If you're driving your car and you're coming out from an intersection, really take a lot of caution, especially when the weather conditions are bad, making sure that you can see it's clear for you to pull out. Even if a vehicle is certainly further on down the road than you think it is, that vehicle is travelling in excess of the speed limit, that vehicle is going to be upon you very, very quickly.
Speed is considered a factor in both of the weekend crashes. Motorcycle safety instructors say this is a good reminder to always wear proper safety gear and for all drivers to stay alert at all times. For firefighters in Edmonton, this one may have been a first. Coming up, how rescuing a llama from a sinkhole is all in a day's work. Major milestone today in the way we gauge how well the stock market is doing. Joining me is Faisal Karmali, portfolio manager with the Popwich Karmali Advisory Group. And Faisal, Google is now part of the Dow Jones Index.
The Dow Jones Index has been around for 130 plus years. And from time to time, they decide to make an adjustment on that index. Companies get kicked out. Others get put in. And Google, or parent company Alphabet, has now been put in. Verizon is out. This is a shift now. We're going to see more digital advertising, cloud computing, AI companies coming in. NVIDIA was brought in November, so we now have Amazon, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Google all part of the Dow Jones. A big move for this index, and a reporting one that we talk about quite a bit here on CTV.
And companies that make beverages are cashing in on drinks that offer you a little something extra.
According to a recent survey done by E&Y, they said 75% of millennials, 80% of Gen Zers are willing to buy functional beverages and pay more for it. So functional beverages include, let's say you got a protein shake or a protein in your coffee, or maybe some pre or probiotics in your soda. Now you can kind of get an idea with the cha-ching in the background happening, the opportunities with companies like Starbucks, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and others. They're all jumping on the wave. Get ready for more functional beverages being introduced at a store near you.
A growing trend indeed. Thanks very much, Faisal.
Thanks for having me.
The UCP government has until Canada Day to submit a proposal to Ottawa's Major Projects Office for a new oil pipeline. In May, Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Danielle Smith signed an updated deal greenlighting construction on a new pipeline for as early as the fall of 2027. However, as of now, there's no private proponent for the project, and the route the pipeline would have to the West Coast remains in question. Smith says she prefers a route through northern BC, which that province opposes. 1,500 people in Kananaskis country have been told to shelter in place. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The rain has created mudslides and washouts, cutting off an exit route for campers. Several of them coming up at 6. Alberta's Parks and Forestry Minister provides an update on support for those stranded. Plus, we'll tell you about the efforts underway to repair the roads. In Canmore, the flood watch has ended, but a high stream flow advisory remains, with creeks flowing high and fast tonight. We'll have reaction from residents. We'll see you at 6. Ian.
Thank you, Tara. Some llama drama in Edmonton this weekend.
Nice work. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Woo!
On Sunday, a llama named Runner was pulled out of a 3-meter deep sinkhole. Officials say it was not an easy extraction. Edmonton firefighters say the opening of the hole was too small to safely get the llama out. A mini excavator was brought in, and with the help of rescue slings, Runner was rescued. Officials say the llama was not injured. Well, Calgary is starting to dry out after an exceptional amount of rain, but not for long. We're under an air quality advisory at 10+ right now in Calgary. Gina has details coming up. I think the image we saw just before the commercial break of the smoke outside tells the whole story.
Yeah, right now we're sitting at around 10+, according to Environment Canada's website. Temperatures today, we did get a bit of sunshine out there, so that helped us out, getting us to, well, look at that. I had a high of 21. We're currently at 20, or we had a high of 20. We're currently at 21. So we're in good shape temperature-wise. But yes, we will see that air quality not be in good shape for the next 24 to 48 hours here, sitting at about an 8 overnight and into tomorrow morning. Temperatures holding steady, but instability is going to be common throughout the week, Ian.
Thanks, Gina. The sport of chuck wagons is grieving the loss of one of the greatest to ever jump into a wagon seat. Tom Glass died Friday at the age of 77 after he suffered a stroke. Those who knew him say he just had it, one of the fiercest and most respected drivers. Glass's success in the sport was unmatched. Some of his accolades include 6 Calgary Stampede Rangeland Derby championships and 3 world champion chuck wagon driver crowns. His contribution to the sport continued after his retirement in 1998 when he became a broadcaster up until his death. For his family, Glass will be remembered as a man who loved his kids and grandkids more than anything.
His biggest passion was being at his ranch in Arizona, roping, having his kids and his grandkids come to Arizona. And then in the summertime, of course, he'd be home in Alberta and he'd be with us. I mean, he spent every single day of spring training at our farm outside of High River with Jason. And I think that's probably going to be one of the hardest things when we get into spring training for next season.
And Tom's son Jason continues to race in his father's honor at the Ponoka Stampede this week. Jason clocked in with the fastest time of the night. Thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.